Dr. Vanita Rattan, and this video is dedicated to the ordinary products that you absolutely should not be wearing if you have skin of color. Right, so starting off with the first absolute no-no is the 30% AHA plus 2% BHA. Now 30% AHA is very high, and the primary active here is glycolic acid. If you've watched any of my videos, you will know AHAs are just not good for skin of color. There have been so many times that I've been in the clinic, at the hyperpigmentation clinic, and you know, a young girl will walk in and she's put glycolic acid on the face and has burnt the skin. Because the problem is not even the pH of glycolic acid. The problem is the size of the molecule. It is a tiny molecule. It flies through the skin and it causes hot spots. So you literally burn in dots around the face. And when that happens in skin of color, our melanocytes are triggered and they start to overproduce pigment, so melanin, and that's what you see as hyperpigmentation. And obviously that's what I see because I've got the hyperpigmentation clinic and all I see is pigmentation. So for me, it's very important that you do not burn the skin ever, because once you get pigmentation, it's difficult to treat. So that's my number one no-no. You see it all over the internet. It's the one with the red vial from The Ordinary, and you know, people call it the vampire facial, etc. It's just, please just stay away. The next product that I would say please steer clear of is the 10% lactic acid plus HA. Now, lactic acid, although it's one of the most gentle forms of AHAs, it's still an AHA, and 10% is very high. So again, it can burn and it can lead to more pigmentation. The reason people wear this is twofold. Number one, they want to increase the NMF, the natural moisturizing factor of the skin, and it also tends to stimulate collagen. However, I would rather you purchased NMF from The Ordinary, and I would rather you also purchased a vitamin A from The Ordinary too in order to stimulate collagen. It's a much safer way of achieving the results that you want for skin of color. If, however, you say to me, Dr. Rattan, I want lactic acid, please, then I would say, okay, fine. The only one I think is maybe okay is the 5% lactic acid. It's a lower percentage. The pH, I believe, is 3.6 to 3.8. I still prefer you used salicylic acid, i.e. a BHA. But if you desperately want to use lactic acid, that's the only one that I would say maybe, and avoid, however, if you have sensitive skin. Okay, so the next big no-no is 1% retinol in squalene. Okay, so 1% retinol is very high percentage, especially for skin of color. And if you become irritated by it, it can lead to pigmentation. So I would definitely avoid this. Now, I get asked all the time about vitamin A. You can go over and watch my vitamin A video that I've already made for you. But the key, I would say, is retinaldehyde is a much, much superior vitamin A form for skin of color, because it's 20 times as effective as retinol, but with zero side effects. It's only one step removed from retinoic acid. So it's very powerful. If you, however, want to stick with The Ordinary brand, which I understand the loyalty of that, watch my the video that I've made on The Ordinary products that are suitable for skin of color, and I'll tell you the vitamin A options that are suitable from The Ordinary range. Right, so the next one I would say avoid is the 30% vitamin C in silicone. The reason being that silicone can feel quite heavy on the skin. Also, it can aggravate acne, which can lead to more pigmentation. The other thing is that silicone can actually reduce the absorption of the actual vitamin C itself. So I don't actually know why they made this product, to be honest. They have much better vitamin C options. I love their 10% magnesium ascorbate phosphate. It's much better for skin of color, much more stable, and it shouldn't really irritate your skin. Also, working at 30% vitamin C can be very irritating itself. So if you do have this product, make sure you do patch test it behind your ear. The next product I'd say to avoid is the 7% glycolic acid toning solution. So this has a low pH of 3.5 to 3.7, and as I've discussed before, it's glycolic acid. It's a tiny molecule, can fly through the skin, lead to hot spots and burn the skin. So I would just avoid, to be honest. It's just not worth it. I would rather you wore 2% salicylic acid, because you get all the same benefits but none of the cost. So for me, it's a no-brainer when it comes to skin of color. Please just stick with the salicylic acid. The next product I'd say to stay clear of is the 5% alpha lipoic acid. So it's a very powerful antioxidant. However, it can feel oily on the skin due to the propanediol, but also it can give you a burning sensation as well. So there are much better antioxidants even in the Ordinary range. So I would say no to that one. Now, the Ordinary have a huge oils range. The problem is a lot of them have a high percentage of polyunsaturated oils. Now, polyunsaturated fat basically means that there are hydrogen bonds that are incomplete. And so that means that it's unstable. And when that then reacts with oxygen in the environment, it can lead to free radicals on the skin. Now, free radicals are one of the worst things for your skin because it damages the skin. It leads to sagging, wrinkling, pigmentation. So the ones that they've got in the Ordinary are virgin chia seed oil, sea buckthorn fruit oil, and barrage seed oil. Those are the three that I would definitely say to steer clear of. So if you are wondering which oils have got a low percentage polyunsaturated fats, the ones that are safest for your skin, I would say stick with marula, jojoba oil, shea is good, and also coconut oil. So from the Ordinary range, the number one face oil that I would say is the 100% squalene, because it's 100% saturated, meaning it's very stable. So for me, I'd say that's their single best face oil from the whole range. Right, so the next product that you're going to be a little bit shocked by probably is the mineral sunblock from the Ordinary. So on first glance, it actually looks quite impressive. It's got 14% zinc oxide and 5% titanium dioxide. I'm just checking to make sure I give you the right percentages. So in total, that's 19%, which is very good. The problem is the seventh ingredient is sunflower seed oil. Now, this is very unstable in UV, and so I wouldn't wear this during the day. The other problem is it does have a white cast when you wear it. So again, for skin of color, it's not ideal. It's also got a high percentage of silicones in it, which is maybe not a good idea for acne-prone skin. In addition, I generally don't like wearing antioxidants during the day because ultimately you're still allowing a chemical reaction to take place on the skin, which can lead to thermal energy on the skin, which can trigger your melanocytes. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of skin of color is that our melanocytes almost want to be triggered. The melanocytes cell is so large that virtually anything can trigger it. It could be one scratch, one bite, one burn, and we pigment. So we really have to be very careful with what we put on the skin. Just because it's a reputable brand and it's on the shelves doesn't necessarily mean that it caters to our skin. And that really is what this whole channel is about, is to give you the information, give you the knowledge, so you have the power to go into a shop and say, okay, so this one is suitable for me and this one isn't suitable for me. I really hope you found today helpful. If there's any other products you want me to review, you know I love doing this, please can you write it down below for me, and make sure you do download your free ebook, because it does have everything in there that you really need to know to protect yourself. Thank you very much.